And we're back with a new video, and today I am in beautiful La Jolla, California. Look at this, and got my little drone here. I'm going to show you some beautiful scenery while I talk in this video. Something a little different, right? Why not? Let's have a little fun together. There's sharks out there. I want to see if I can see any. That's the goal today. But I want to talk about something that happened, and I'm going to delve into a little bit that happened to a buddy of mine who became a buddy through this whole nightmare with the Daytona EV, where the cars are just bricking and massively problematic. And in his case, he had a small fender bender shortly after leasing the thing for a lot of money. He didn't get the lease deal. He paid, I think, $1,000 a month for this thing, and after having it a few months, he had a small fender bender. I'll put a picture up on the screen. It was minor. For any car, it would not be a big deal. It'd go in the shop, be out a week later, everything would be fine. But instead, this car went in the shop and stayed there for 15 or 16 months. First, the body shop got through having to wait for parts and ultimately get parts. Once they got the parts and put the car back together, the car bricked. And of course, that's when the confusion began about who is responsible for the repair. Was it tied to the accident, or was it because the car is a piece of junk? And that's where things got pretty crazy. I'm gonna talk about this more, but let me get this drone up in the sky, see what we can see out there. All right, so I bought a new one. This guy, check it out, pretty cool. It's a 360 camera drone. How awesome is that? So it can do some pretty cool stuff, but for this video, you're just gonna see the basic stuff. And what's great is I've got the little hood for the controller and a built-in screen, so I don't have to attach my phone, which was always a colossal pain in the rear. So what I'm gonna do is let this thing go out there, do its thing, and then talk over this beautiful scenery. So let's go. All right, so here's what happened. The car was in the shop for 3 months or so, maybe 2.5 months. They couldn't figure out what was wrong because the car wouldn't start, it wouldn't run. Something was wrong, something was seriously wrong, and they did everything they could at the body shop to try to figure out what it was. And ultimately they tapped out. They said, no, you got to take it to the dealership. It's the car. It's not because of the accident, it's the car. So this needs to go to the dealership. Now, some would say that's passing the buck. But the reality of it is, the history of these cars, it's really not unlikely that the car would just brick itself based on a tiny accident like that. The car shouldn't go down in flames that bad and not start. So the dealer got it, and the car sat there from August to August for an entire year. And I mean, wiring harnesses, they tried many things, and star cases, and everything in the world took place with Dodge trying to find a solution to this guy's problem. The whole time, my friend is making his payment on his car for a solid year, $1,000 a month. And we're talking the entire time. He'd call me up, text me, Brad, it's Quincy, you won't believe this. They said next week, they said next week, they said the week after, they said it'll be another week, it'll be 2 more weeks. The car will be done in a week. A year later, he gets the car back. And finally, Carmen CDJR got the car fixed. And then they called and let him know, by the way, Dodge turned down the warranty, said it was related to the accident, so you need to give us $20,000 and some change for the repair. And Quincy's like, no, man, what do you mean $20,000? That wasn't the deal. You know, this is a pretty new car, a minor accident, been fixed, and everybody said it was warranty. Everybody, Hellcat, Durango, look at that. Everybody said it was warranty, and you're saying it's not. And now I have to go back to USAA and tell them that it's not warranty, Dodge turned it down, and that they now need to open up the claim again and pay it, which could get denied, could get kicked around and slow and delay the process the whole time the car's sitting there, supposedly fixed. So then he gets the car, and he gets finally through the whole process. Dodge finally says, okay, we're gonna do it under warranty, come get the car. So he goes back, dealership says you can have the car now. He doesn't have to pay the 20 grand. He doesn't have to go to his insurance company. Everything's back the way it should be, and it was the entire time, where it's warranty work. It was not related. He has it in writing that it was not related to the accident. And here we are. Now, that's not enough stress for you. He gets the car back, texts me, says, I got it back. Trying to do a lemon law on this thing and get this thing bought back. But in the process, you know, now I have the car and I'm gonna drive it. And I like the car. Many people do. And I'm gonna try and enjoy it, but there's a stigmatism to it now that all I can think about is, when is this thing gonna break? Spent so much time in the forums, spent so much time reading about this thing and hearing everybody else's stories, that now, am I gonna be going through more problems? Is this just the long beginning to a treacherous end while I'm trying to lemon law this thing and get it bought back or get some kind of settlement put in place? And I said, you know what, dude, I think it's probably gonna be okay. I mean, the dealer had it for a year. They did all the updates, the software updates. They did everything that needed to be done. I gotta imagine at this point, maybe you're getting a good car and you can enjoy this thing and drive it and not have to worry about it and still go through the lawsuit and see what happens. He's like, yeah, hopefully, but I still worry every single day I take the thing out. I understand. And then here's what happens. I'll put on the screen right now the video he sent me of the sound coming from the car. And it's not good. And it's definitely not good. It's not something you can drive like this, because you don't know what the next sound's gonna be after this. And he says, I gotta take it back to the shop. So he goes to try to put it in the shop. They say, no, yeah, bring it back in a week or whatever, set an appointment, everything else. And then he gets a call from the service advisor, receptionist or something. It says the service manager named Jim, I'll put on the screen here, said they're declining repairing the car. They're declining the repair on the car. They do not want you to bring the car here. So we will not take the car now. This is a authorized Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram dealership to do warranty work, and they now do not want the car. Now, mind you, this was warranty work. They did it. This new repair is very likely related to the old repair. If not, doesn't matter. They should be the ones digging into it, and it's his dealership that is, I believe, closest to him, that is convenient to him, and they won't take the car back. And they won't give him an excuse or reason why. The guy didn't even call Quincy to tell him, this is why, man, we aren't capable of fixing it. We don't have the right techs. We don't have the right experience. Whatever it is, he doesn't call to tell him that. He just says, tell him that we're not taking the car, period. And what Quincy says is, the whole time, they made him feel like it was his fault this happened. Like it's his fault they have to keep the car for a year, because they were sick of the thing too. And I understand why. They didn't want to deal with it. But think about this. You, quote, fixed the car, collected the warranty repair work. Now, probably, I imagine, $20,000 in repairs through an insurance company is way more profitable for them than it being covered in a warranty. So I have to ask the question, not accusing anybody of anything, but did Dodge really decline the warranty? Or were they trying to say, put it through your insurance, collect $20,000 for a repair that maybe cost $10,000 and take a $10,000 skim or profit? Or did Dodge really say, we're not fixing it? See, you don't know. But when they decline the car coming back after shoving it through warranty and realizing they're going to have it for another year, 6 months, 3 months, whatever it is, they don't want to take the car. And they just tell him no. And they won't explain to him, no courtesy to call and say, here's why we're not taking it. Just have somebody call him up and tell him, we're not taking it, we're declining it. Now he's got to go to find another dealership to go and look at the car. But apparently, in the system, this car has a code that says, this car has had significant repair issues, contact the STAR department or whatever about this car. So now his car is absolutely marked for life, or should I say death, that it has problems, it's problematic. So will that other dealership even be willing to take it? So you've got a car under warranty and the dealership doesn't want to take it. Explain that to me. How about this? Make it make sense. That's the story I had to share, and I hope this dealership doesn't treat people this way in the future. They deserve to be exposed for treating a customer this badly after buying a car. Didn't buy it from there, but why wouldn't they take the service? Why wouldn't they accept the car? And just to send a guy away after, quote, fixing the car and then it not being fixed. that's astonishing to me. But is it shocking? No. Because we see this from some of these dealerships and it's just disgusting. And for that reason, I did this video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Hope you enjoyed the scenery. Bye-bye. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Damn, it's hot out here. You know what's great about the Prius? No one will ever steal this thing, so I just leave it running with the air conditioning going and go back in. Whew, this heating's been nuts lately. All right, let's go edit this video. What do you think of my wife's Bush 8 license plate for NASCAR?